he had no side, no pretensions, and loved having a good time, loved acting the fool and getting into scrapes, and he was never quite as drunk as he pretended to be. He was not an alcoholic or anything of that sort, but on his holidays, why, he'd love to hit corners. Time came when I was to direct. I wrote the Maltese Falcon from the Dashiell Hammett book. And the original intention was to have George Raft play it, but he pulled away from it because he didn't want to trust his career to a young director, to someone who had never directed before. And Bogart, to my secret delight, was substituted. And that picture began, I think, a whole new career for Bogey.
Question is, have you ever been a member of the Communist Party?
It wasn't all laughs for the newlyweds. In 1947, when the House Un-American Activities Committee, under the leadership of J. Parnell Thomas, accused 19 Hollywood writers of being communists, Bogart and Bacall, along with other stars, flew to Washington to protest.
We sat in the committee room and heard it happen. We saw American citizens denied the right to speak by elected representatives of the people. We saw police take citizens from the stand like criminals. We saw the gavel of a committee chairman cutting off the words of free Americans. The sound of that gavel, Mr. Thomas, rings across America, because every time your gavel struck, it hit the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States.
I was surprised to read a few days after I got back to California that Bogey had recanted. And I talked to him about it when he came back out, and he said he thought that we had made a mistake in this. I regarded it as a mistake that Bogey did this. He should have stuck to his guns.
Huston's difference of opinion with Bogey didn't stop them from working together. They went on to collaborate on two of their best films, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre and Key Largo, in which Bogey co-starred with Betty for what would turn out to be the last time.
I felt that Betty was, in a sense, going to school with Bogey. He worked with her and taught her how to use her voice and rehearsed with her, taking a great load off the director I had.
A week after he finished shooting The Harder They Fall, Bogey started having painful coughing spells. His friends urged him to see a doctor. When he did, the test came back positive. He had cancer of the esophagus. In those final days, he proved to be as tough as any character he ever played.
There was 1 hour a day, and they received guests, and this was observed right up till the finish. And he was too weak to even be lifted down the stairs. There was a dumb waiter, and he used to crowd himself into this dumb waiter and come down to the first floor, where he was then put into a chair and wheeled into the drawing room and have drinks and talk. And that's the last picture I have of Bogey, and quite in keeping with the image that I have of him altogether.
At his funeral, a few days later, all of Hollywood came to mourn. The night before the memorial service, director John Huston paid tribute to his friend.
And the better I got to know him, the more I admired him. He was a very serious man about his work. He took great pride in being an actor. It's a loss to the world, of course, that great talent, but the world can refer to it in the pictures that remain behind. The loss to his family and to his friends is therefore all the greater. There'll never be another Bogart.